So we were talking about the basics of evolutionary computation. We have completed the basic theory behind evolutionary computation. Then the history of the evolutionary computation we have completed. Now what we will discuss is about the biological terminology, that is the biological equivalence of the terminologies used in the evolutionary computation, as well as the corresponding terminology used in the biology or in the evolution, the theory of evolution. So in the theory of evolution, there is a term environment, individual, there are terms like fitness, etc. Actually, fitness is the chances of survival and reproduction. Now, that is the survival of chances of survival means survival of a particular species, the survival of a particular type of animal or a living being or an organism. That is the fitness. It is the chances of survival and reproduction. You already know that the theory of evolution is based on the survival of the fittest theory. That is, the most fit living being or the most fit species will survive for the next generation, as well as for the next future, for the future coming generations, etc. So that is the theory of evolution. Now, how these particular things are implemented in problem solving, how these particular terms, this environment, individual, fitness, etc., is mapped into the problem solving, that we will see in this slide. So the environment is actually the problem itself. That is, whichever problem you are considering or whichever problem we are taking for solving using this evolutionary computation, that particular problem is the environment in the case of evolution. It is corresponding to environment, we are taking the problem at hand. Now, an individual in the case of evolution, the theory of evolution is the candidate solution, any feasible solution for a particular problem. So for each problem, there may be some feasible solution as well as infeasible solutions are there. Feasible solutions are the solutions which satisfies all the conditions put forward in that particular problem or defined for that particular problem. That is, this particular limitations or this particular conditions are known as the constraints. The constraints of the conditions or the constraints of the problem are satisfied. So that particular solution is known as a feasible solution. An infeasible solution is that for some constraints or some condition it is being violated. Suppose for a specific problem we have a condition that all the numbers should be, all the values should be integers. So something like a counting problem. In that particular problem, the counts should be always be integer. There cannot be any fractional numbers possible. So if that particular problem has a solution, and when we obtain or when we create a random solution or when we create a new offspring, if by chance or by way of our calculation, if some specific decimal part comes up for that particular solution, then that solution becomes infeasible. That is, the condition that all the numbers, all the solutions should be having only integers, that particular condition is violated. So that particular solution becomes an infeasible solution. So a feasible solution is a solution which satisfies all the conditions given for that particular problem, and an infeasible solution is a solution which violates any of the given constraints. So in evolution, the individual is equivalent to candidate solution in the problem solving. So we will see how a candidate solution is being represented for some type of problems. And fitness is equivalent to the quality of a particular solution. The fitness is related to individual, as well as the quality is related to candidate solution. So the candidate solution is also known as a chromosome, that also we will discuss. Then quality of a particular solution is equivalent to the fitness of an individual. So a quality is a chance of seeding new solutions. That is, the quality of a candidate solution is for the next iteration, whether this particular solution will survive or not. That is one thing. And the other thing is whether this particular solution will be able to create a new solution or not. So that is the chance of seeding new solutions. So that is dependent upon the quality of the solution. So that is, these terms are equivalent in terms of biological terminology. That is, environment is equivalent to problem, individual is equivalent to candidate solution, and fitness is equivalent to quality. And then some other terms, which is again in the theory of evolution as well as in biological terms, that is chromosome, then gene, then crossover, mutation, etc. So I'm not saying all the related terms, but only the most important terms are being discussed here in the theory of that is evolutionary computation. In problem solving, a chromosome is equivalent to a candidate solution. As well as I said earlier, a chromosome is actually equivalent to an individual, that is a candidate solution itself. Then a gene is a value of a particular parameter in a candidate solution. A candidate solution consists of the values for all the parameters of that particular problem. And a gene is a value for a specific parameter, or any parameter in that particular solution is known as a gene. So then you might know you might remember the shape of the chromosome, and it is like a string. It is like a long string of some specific parts, and each part is known as a small gene. So that is, a number of genes constitutes a chromosome. That is, a number of genes creates actually a new chromosome. So then crossover is actually a process in which in most of the cases it is only two candidate solutions, and in some rare cases or some specific operations there will be more than two candidate solutions also. So that is, we are combining two or more candidate solutions to form a new solution, new candidate solution, that is a new offspring. That process is known as crossover. And there are different types of crossovers available in evolutionary computation as well as genetic algorithm. We will look into some of them. Then the final term is mutation. A mutation is only a small change in the candidate solution. That is, mutation is happening nowadays. That particular term is relevant also because we are almost hearing it on a day-to-day basis about the COVID virus. The particular virus is undergoing new mutation, and new mutants are being created. New mutants means they exist in the main of that is being the main organism stays like itself, but with a small change, with a very small change in one of the genes or in one particular position of the chromosome. So that is a mutation. So that is a very small change in the chromosome or in the candidate solution is a mutation. So these are the basic terminologies that is being used in evolutionary computation as well as theory of evolution or in biology. And we will come across with some other terms also that we will discuss later when that particular specific term comes up, that we will discuss. And there is a term, the search space. The search space is the space which is a subset of all the solutions. Actually, a set of all the possible solutions of a particular problem is known as the solution space. That is, suppose we have an arrangement problem, like an ordering problem. We have some 5 different elements are there. We have to order it in a specific way so that some particular functionality or some particular function of their position should be minimum. So when we are doing that case, there are different possibilities. That is, the first item can be placed first, or the second item can be placed first, or third item, or fourth item, or fifth item. Any of these items can be placed first. So there are actually 5 factorial different ways to place it in different positions. So these 5 factorial different ways how these particular things can be placed together, it is the set of solutions. So that is the total set of solutions. That is the solution space. And if we take only a particular subset of this particular condition, that is all these solutions. Suppose we are fixing the first two elements first. We are fixing it. We cannot change that particular things. In that case, only the remaining three positions can be varied. So that creates this, in that condition, this particular solutions, this particular set of solutions creates a subset of the total number of solutions. So that is a search space. So search space is only a specific subset of solutions. So actually in evolutionary computation, what we are doing is we are looking for the best solution in a specific subset of the solution. So this particular subset is the search space, that is, or it is also known as the state space. And every point in the search space is a possible solution. That is, that this particular solution can be represented as a multi-dimensional picture, even though we could represent only 3 dimensions in our animations or in our conditions. But for every problem, we can consider the set of solutions consists of can be generated. The set of solutions can be represented as a multi-dimensional graph or multi-dimensional drawing. So that particular drawing, in that case, that particular space, the space in which this particular multi-dimensional drawing is created. So obviously that space should also be multi-dimensional space. So that multi-dimensional space is known as the solution space. And a specific region in that particular multi-dimensional space is known as the search space. So that is why this is known as the subset. In computer programming, what we do is we create multi-dimensional arrays. There we can create the number of dimensions of that particular array can be anything, any number, up to 100 or 1000 or something like that. So that is the same case with this particular solution space also. That is, the solution space can have a number of dimensions depending on the number of parameters within for that particular solution. So, and a specific region within that solution space is known as the search space or state space. So every point in that particular search space is a possible solution. It is a candidate, it can be considered as a candidate solution. That is, every point within the search space can be considered as a candidate solution. So since this is a candidate solution, for each candidate solution for a specific problem, there should be a specific fitness value for that one also. So therefore, every point in that particular condition, in that particular search space or the solution space should be having a fitness value. And the fitness value will be depending on the problem definition. In most of the cases, what we do is we take the higher the closer, the fitness value, we consider it to be closer to the best, the higher the value. So in some cases, when we come across the minimization problems, mostly the problems, the values that we will get will be the lower the best condition. So in that case, we have to convert that particular lower the best to higher the best by taking the inverse or doing some operations like 1 + 1 by something or any sort of such operations. So that will give you the higher the best, higher is closer to the best condition for fitness values. Then GS are mostly used to search the space for in most of the cases, it is the best solution will be a minimum value. So in that case, we have to convert that minimum into the maximum condition, that is doing some operations. So the difficulties in search space, that is determining the search space, is the local minima. That is, there may be some local minima where we will get stuck. That is, we will get stuck in that particular local minima and it won't go to some other, the global minima condition. Like we are searching for a ball in a terrain. We know that that particular ball was rolled into a specific position and we doesn't know where it was going to. Since it is a ball, we normally feel that that particular ball might have been at the lowest point in that particular terrain. So that is, in most of the cases, that is the condition, because the ball rolls because of the gravity. It ends up at a position where it is the lowest point. So we are searching for the lowest point. But what will happen is that the ball went to the lowest point, but we found out a local minima, that is a minimal height position surrounding which every other positions are at a higher level than this one, but it may not be the lowest point in that particular terrain. So that is the local minima. The local minima is a minimal condition that is within a specific region. There may be another minima which is lower than this particular value, this particular local minima. That is also possible. That also we will come later. So let us consider an example problem, that is how this particular problem is stated in such so that we can represent, we can discuss on how a particular chromosome can be represented, etc., etc. So this is the most popular problem in evolutionary computation, as well as this combinatorial optimization type of problems. That is the traveling salesman problem. The traveling salesman problem is very simple actually. That is, a salesman wishes to travel around a given set of cities. So obviously when he has to visit a city once and only once, and in one time, once when he starts from his home town, he has to visit each city once, and he has to come back to his hometown, because he has to stay there. So this is the problem. A salesman wishes to travel around a given set of cities and return to the beginning, covering the smallest total distance. Obviously, the aim of that particular salesman should be to cover all the cities by traveling through the smallest total distance. The smallest total distance is used in order to reduce the total cost that is incurred for his travel. So that is the condition. So let us consider a condition where there are 9 different cities. The cities are named from 1 to 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 8 and 9. So these are the 9 cities. So the distance between each cities is also given. That is from the distance from city 1 to 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 up to 9, from 2 to all the other cities, etc. are also given. So what we have to find out is we have to find out the shortest route through which all the possible all the cities should be covered, the smallest distance by which all the cities should be covered only once. That is, he doesn't have to visit a city twice. That is the condition. So this is a possible solution. That is a feasible solution actually. This is a feasible solution. He is starting from the first one. He is starting from here, go to 2, then go to 3. In that order itself, go to 3, then go to 4, go to 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then he is coming back to 1. So this is a possible route. And the total cost for this particular route is a total of 49. So the distance from 1 to 4, 2, 1 to 2 is, it is 4. 1 to 2 is 4. Then 2 to 3. 2 to 3 is again 4. 3 to 4. 3 to 4 is again same value, that is 4. Then 4 to 5 it is 5. 5 to 6 it is 6. 5 to 6 is 6. Then 6 to 7 it is again 5. So that way all the values are, all the total distances are added together. 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6 plus 5 plus etc. So all those added together gives you the total distance 49. So there is another possible options are also there. That is from 1 he goes to 5. Then from 5 to 5 he moves on to 6. 6 to 7, 8, 9, 4, 3, 2, then 1. So that is also another possible route. So there are a number of, actually there are more than 3 lakh different possible routes are there. This the numbers can be found out by finding out the 9 factorial. So there are 9 factorial different possible routes are there. So the applications of the TSP is that it is routing around the cities. That is the problem that we have already stated, that is routing around the cities. Then there is another applications like computer wiring, that is connecting to the computer components using minimum wire length. That is we have to use only the minimum wire length in order to connect all the components within a specific computer configuration. So that is one thing. That is, there is other applications like archaeological seriation, that is ordering the archaeological sites in based on the time of their discovery or the time of their existence, etc. Then genome sequencing, that is in biology, that is arranging the DNA fragments in sequence. Arranging the DNA fragments in sequence so that a specific criterion can be met. Then job sequencing, that is in manufacturing. Sequencing jobs in order to minimize the total setup time between jobs. That is, jobs are actually the work material. Jobs is a product in production. That is a product which is being produced. So that is in machining operation is going on. A specific item is to be fed to that particular machine first, then the next one, then the next one, etc. So that the total setup time should be minimized. So that sort of different applications are there. These 5 applications are only representative applications. There are much more than this is there. There are a number of different other applications also for traveling salesman problem. So in this case, we have seen some of the terms and how this particular terms are relevant in traveling salesman problem. Let's see. So the environment is the problem itself. That is, the environment in this condition is the traveling salesman problem. And the solution space is all the permutations of 9. That is permutations of not just 9, that is from 0 to 9. Solution space is all the permutations of the numbers 1 to 9. So like this is the solution space. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 is one possible solution. This particular solution is what we have shown, described in that particular picture. That is, it is starting from 1, then moves to 2, then from 2 moves to 3, 3 to 4, 5, 4 to 5. That way, that particular order. That is the order in which this particular salesperson or salesman travels. He is currently at 1. That is the starting point. Then he moves to 2. So 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4, etc. So this is the solution that is being represented, that was being shown in that particular picture. Then by changing this to 9 and 8, there is another possible solution. From 7, it is directly moving on to 9. Then from 9, it is moving on to 8. And from 8, it is coming back to 1. So that is another possible solution. We are not arguing that it is the best solution. It is a possible solution. So that way, it has some more than 3 lakh different solutions are there. So all the possible permutations of this particular values, that is from 1 to 9. So in that case, each position, a particular solution is a chromosome, and a specific value in that particular solution, like this particular 7, that is a gene. This is a gene. So that is it. Now the solution space is all the permutations of 9, that is all the 3 lakh plus possible solutions. That is the solution space. Then the search space is a subset of the solution space. So this particular set of solutions, these can be considered as a search space. This is not the only search space. There are so many search spaces like this. This can be this for 5 specific solutions can be considered as a search space, because this is a subset of the given solution space. So a candidate solution, an example of a candidate solution is also given, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So this is the candidate solution that is we have discussed in that case. And the fitness value for this particular solution is the distance traveled. The total distance traveled can be a fitness value. So the problem with this case is this is 49. So we want to minimize it. So actually we have to give some specific operation in 49 in order to make it the fitness value, the fitness. So the fitness value can be 49, that is the lower the best, that is the if the fitness value is lower, that can be considered as better condition. But when we calculate the fitness of this particular solution, the candidate solution, then we have to do some operation like 1 by 49 or 1 by this fitness value can be a possible way of finding out the quality or the fitness of that particular solution. So that also we will see later.